You set up your new aquarium, you put fish in it, and they all die on you. If you do use that a pre-filtered, whether it be pre can't say it. What is up, all you Stone Cold Superfly, Illmatic, Spunky Monkey, King Kongs of aquariums? You watching the original UFO? That's right, the unidentified funky one. First, thank you for watching my video. Secondly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I put something out. You just started a new aquarium. You ready for fish? Okay, you've been talking about this with the family. You've been thinking about it. You've been watching YouTube, and you want that. So you buy a tank. You spend a lot of money buying this tank, by the way. You put it where you want it. You get it looking the way you want it. You put water in it, and then you go to buy fish, and you put them in there, and they die. Well, there's a couple of reasons why that would happen. Let me start out by saying the number one reason why this happens is because a very important step was missed. That is the nitrogen cycle. Your tanker wasn't fully cycled. I can't give you a number per gallon on how long it takes to cycle an aquarium because there is no such number. There's a guesstimate. Every tank cycles at different rates. But what the cycle is, and please look up the cycle, it's called the nitrogen cycle. What that is basically when you first put aquarium together, it goes through ammonia spikes, nitrite spikes, and nitrate. Now, not until the last one has happened is your tank officially cycled and ready for fish. Now, there are different ways you can go about cycling your tank, and I'm not going to get into those right now. But right now we're talking about all the different ways that your aquarium fish can die when you first put them in there. But the number one way, yeah, it's the cycle. It's not cycled. You got to give it some time to go through a cycle, and I urge you to look that up. I've really been meaning to do a video on the cycle, but it is very complex, and I haven't found a way to do a video to where it's not confusing. And when I do, I'm going to definitely do that. So like I said, hit that subscribe button so that when it comes out, you got that. I've been watching a lot of grow your channels videos, and you know what, a common theme I hear all through it is know who you are, know your message, make sure everybody else knows who you are and knows your message. And I used to really drive that home, and I don't think I've been driving that home as much lately. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Jason, whatever you want to call me. And my whole claim to fame is I want to help everybody out. I've been in the fish tank hobby since 2000. I've been a breeder. I've worked at pet stores, the mom and pop ones, and the big box ones, you know. And I noticed that sometimes people are put off on aquariums because of the way it's explained to them. They want it, but it's just not put out to them in a way that they can consume it for whatever reason. So if this is your type of flavor, then please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and we can go ahead and make things happen for you. We can be successful, both of us, in my channel by hitting that thumbs up, and in your fish keeping endeavors. So now there's that, a non-cycled aquarium. So now there's a pre-cycled aquarium or a cycled aquarium, and you can do this in different ways. You can buy additives at your, like for instance, I am affiliated with Keep Fish Keeping, where they sell FRITZ enzyme 7. I've used it myself. It works. You can put in fish the very at least next to same day. I'm not going to go too far into that. I'm going to put this video right here on that. And I have, the only problem I have with this is that if you're new to fish keeping, you really should learn the cycle. That's going to be the most important thing you learn in fish keeping, period. It saves you money. Learn it. That's why I'm not going to talk about it right now. But I will put this video up here for you to look at it. Oh, another way you can cycle aquarium is if you have a old filter media with biological filtration that already has beneficial bacteria on it. That's a way that you can cycle your aquarium from the jump. Now, let's say you do have a cycled aquarium, okay, and you go to put fish in. Well, there's a couple of things that could go wrong. Number one, all right, let's just flat out say they got you. Wherever you got your fish, don't go there no more. They got you. It was bad batch, bad fish. That's one way. But if you go into a local pet store, a mom and pop, hopefully you talk to them and they did not allow you. They did not sell you bad fish. I'm not saying that that's the biggest possibility. That's just a possibility. Second thing that can kill your fish, and this is probably the second biggest reason why fish die when you first put them in the aquarium behind not being cycled. Acclimation. All right, what acclimation is basically, what acclimation is basically getting your fish in the bag used to your tank water. And the way you do that is real simple. There's two ways you can do it. One is you can, they call it plop and drop. I hate the term plop and drop. It sounds, you know what it sounds. It sounds like somebody dropping a deuce. Plop and drop, you know what I mean? But it's just a funny term to me. That's basically where you take your fish, float them in the water. I like floating. I like call them floating. How did you acclimate your fish, Aquafunk? I floated them. That's where you take your fish and you put them in the water and you let them float there so that the temperature of the water inside the bag is equal to the temperature inside your tank. That way when you put them in your tank, they don't have a temperature shock. They don't just, freeze up like that. That's my number one way of doing it. It's easy. Oh, by the way, when you do that, when you do float your bag for acclimation and all that, get a net, go to the sink, get a bucket, something, pour that bag with the water and the fish into the net so that you can take the fish in the net and put it. You don't want to put all that water in your tank. They done been boo-booing in the water. The water at your pet store might be nasty, so you don't want to do that. So that's one way you can avoid them going into shock. Another way you can acclimate your fish is called a drip method. Now the drip method I probably would use for like a very, very fragile fish. But to be honest with you, I don't use the drip method because it's just a funny notion to me. So here's the idea behind the drip method. You put the bag in a bucket with the water, and you take a little airline hose and you suck water from your tank into the bucket, and you kind of tie it up into a knot or use something to make it drip, bloop, 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 so that your fish can slowly get acclimated to the water in your tank, right? Sound good, right? But there's a couple of things I have. First of all, you're still gonna have to float them because the water in your tank is gonna be a different temperature than the water in the bucket on the floor. So after you're done with that, you still have to float them. Secondly, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, to be honest with you, to do the drip acclimation. This is just my personal preference. If you do a drip acclimation and it works for you, then by all means continue. But the way I see it is let's say you and I are in this little fish room, right? And I ate my granola, boiled egg, and cabbage sandwich, right? And I got the bubble guts. You know what I'm saying? And I just start ripping them, just rip and rip, 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 rip. It was me! But the door's closed. See what I'm saying? Door's closed. So you standing back here, just like that, right? Now, in this situation, and the stinky air represents the dirty water in the bag. So, in this situation, do you just open the door and just stick your nose out, look, and then close the door back up, and then look? No, you don't. You open the door and you get the F out. You need to breathe. It stinks in here. I had a granola, cabbage, and boiled egg sandwich. Why would you want to slowly breathe fresh air when you want to just automatically hit that air and breathe? So, in my opinion, if you have a bag full of poo-poo water, why would that fish want to slowly get out of that water? No, that fish want to get into that clean water right away. So, that's my thing on drip acclimation. I hope you like my analogy. Another reason why your fish might die when you put them into a brand new tank, and let's say it is cycled, your biological load, that means the amount of beneficial bacteria in that filter that you have, isn't ready for the large amount of fish that you put in there. It's your first time, you see all the seals, all the deals, buy 5 and get 8 for free or something. You see them up there. And you want to hurry up and get this tank packed right away. Slow and steady wins the race. So what happens is you put all these fish in there, the biological filtration cannot handle the amount of fish that are pooping in the water. It went from 0 fish to 20 fish, all pooping in the water. The beneficial bacteria can't handle it, and you have an ammonia spike and they all die. That's another common reason why people have fish dying on them when they first put up their aquarium. One of these things, if you read the title and you came to my video because this happened, one of those things was the reason. More than likely, it was the first reason that it wasn't cycled. Another reason, the last reason that I just mentioned was probably number 3, and acclimation was probably number 2 as to why your fish died as soon as you put them into this brand new tank. There you go. I hope something I said helped you out. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming visiting my channel. And like always, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your fish.